Russia's 70-year-old leader Vladimir Putin's condition has worsened. It has long been rumored that Putin is sick, but now his condition has worsened. Putin may have to resign. So what is the source of these allegations? What is Putin's illness? Let's examine it together. Vladimir Putin's illness is related to his busy life. Putin has been working very hard almost since his university years. When he started university, Putin became a member of the KGB, Russia's intelligence service. The KGB provided very heavy training for its agents. There were months of training, especially in martial arts. Young Putin's body suffered a lot during these trainings. It is known that Putin contracted pneumonia in the KGB camp, and this disease caused major problems in his lungs. According to allegations in the Russian press, Putin's pneumonia was so severe that he almost died. Doctors found hard to save him. The death of a KGB agent during training could have created a crisis in Russia. That's why doctors gave Putin a lot of medication and he received very intensive treatment. The drugs he took during this period did a lot of damage to Putin's body. Putin has always been interested in martial arts, which he learned in his KGB training. He was especially interested in judo and boxing at a professional level. In these sports, Putin's body was broken several times. Many boxers are known to suffer from Parkinson's disease in an old age. Putin is also known to show signs of Parkinson's. Putin's hands shake a lot. In some meetings, it is seen that his left arm contracts and he cannot move for a long time. Recently, it was seen that Putin's left hand turned purple during a speech. Putin finished his speech quickly. It is thought that Putin will not be able to control his hands when Parkinson's disease progresses. Doctors watching Putin's videos say that his Parkinson's disease is progressing more and more every day. Putin's loss of control over his hands is also talked about in the Russian press. That's why the Russian leader uses an interesting method. There are a lot of influential people in the world who have stunt doubles. Vladimir Putin is the person who has the most number of doubles. Putin conceals the trembling in his hands by using stunt doubles in many of the meetings he attends. Experts have discovered that Vladimir Putin uses stunt doubles, particularly in public meetings, after watching videos of the Russian leader. Video footage of Putin gesturing to his supporters was dissected one clip at a time. It was discovered that different individuals were responsible for these various waving gestures. It is common knowledge that Putin has at least 8 different identities. Not only does the appearance of Putin's hands indicate that he is sick, but so do other things. Even Putin had trouble keeping his feet still. Videos of Vladimir Putin having trouble walking downstairs have also become a topic of discussion in Russia. During talks, the Russian leader often has trouble keeping his legs under control. The peculiar seated postures that Vladimir Putin adopts are frequently brought up in conversation. Putin is known to move his legs frequently throughout every meeting. It has been stated that Putin suffers from restless leg syndrome. The condition known as restless leg syndrome causes sufferers to lose control of their nerve system. It has been suggested that if Putin's condition continues to deteriorate, he may end up becoming entirely paralyzed. Putin always brings his personal physicians along with him everywhere he goes. Additionally, Putin's recent meetings have been frequently postponed. It is said that Vladimir Putin collapses frequently and is receiving treatment for it. The Kremlin is stubbornly refusing to acknowledge that Putin is ill. The question then is why Putin's condition is being kept secret. To begin, the legislative body of each state is informed of the current state of the nation's chief executive's health. In the event that the president's health prevents him from effectively governing the nation, he will be forced out of office. Putin does not wish to step down despite the serious health issues he is experiencing. It is well knowledge that Vladimir Putin frequently suffers from nervous breakdowns and that many of his judgments are made in a fit of wrath. Putin's rage is completely out of control. After the disaster that occurred with the Kerch Bridge, it was reported in the Russian press that Vladimir Putin suffered a psychological breakdown. As Putin's rage grew out of control, He gave the order to launch a massive missile assault on Ukraine. The Russian military fired the missiles without first determining the location of the target. The majority of these missiles were taken down by the air defense system of the Ukrainian government. The missiles, which were worth millions of dollars, had been wasted by Russia. Putin has a second justification for keeping his illness a secret. Putin is a narcissist who craves the admiration of his country's citizens. That's the reason why he is so concerned about his appearance. He makes sure that no unfavorable stories are published about him. He is constantly making an effort to demonstrate that he is strong. Putin is concerned that if it becomes public knowledge that he is ill, it will irreparably damage his reputation. The Kremlin frequently asserts that Vladimir Putin is in excellent physical health. However, Putin is required to undertake extensive therapy as soon as humanly possible. As stated by the medical professionals, the leader of Russia, who is 70 years old, is at risk of having a stroke at any moment. So why is it that Putin won't consent to being treated? In order for Putin to receive therapy, he will need to remain in the hospital for several months. In the meanwhile, he will be forced to step down from his position because he is unable to perform his duties associated with it. But Putin is terrified that he will be brought to justice if he ever leaves government. For the past 2 decades, Vladimir Putin has been in power in Russia, and during that time, he has been responsible for hundreds of crimes. He may be subject to extremely severe punishments, particularly for offenses committed during the conflict. Because he is terrified of being brought to justice, Vladimir Putin is unable to step down as president. Putin might pass away while still in office. In this particular scenario, the law in Russia mandates holding fresh elections within the next 3 months. But during those 3 months, the political rivalry in Russia might claim the lives of a great number of individuals. Power battles in Russia are notoriously contentious and oftentimes bloody. During this process, the Russian army can assume control of the government. It would be a terrible situation for Russia to find itself in. How would these potential outcomes impact the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine? Opponents of Putin in Russia are of the opinion that an invasion of Ukraine by Russia would be inappropriate. If Putin loses his political power, Russia may decide to remove its forces from Ukraine. But for this to happen, democratic elections would need to take place in Russia. This is proving to be somewhat challenging at the moment. Putin's health issues are being closely studied all around the world, especially in Russia. Intelligence agencies are now compiling reports regarding Vladimir Putin's health, because if Putin were passed away, the entire world's power dynamics may shift. What are your thoughts on Putin's health at this time? Because of his illness, do you think Putin will be forced to resign, or will he be fired? What would happen if Putin passed away while still in office? Do you believe that Putin's illness will have an effect on the overall direction of the war? What do you think? Share it with us. Follow us for more updates.